Pavillon was open in Canada 24 years. Gilles and Liliane, the model that they created in Canada was very much based in spirituality. The spiritual component, you could see it through everything they did. There was a spiritual thread that goes through this whole story of Pavillon. One, when we were looking for the property, there were 6 properties we looked at in one day, and this was the very last one, and we couldn't find it. And all of a sudden, someone in the van said, well, let's just go down that road. We did, and it was this property. And that's not the best part of the story. The best part of the story is when Liliane got out of the van by the oak tree and the waterfall and turned around and looked at that time, it was nothing but a big hill. And she said, this is where the pavilion is supposed to be. And all of the client rooms will face the waterfall so they can hear the water. And that was when I just said, oh my God, there's something going on here. The pavilion was built in August of '96, it opened. It's been through several iterations in its last 30 years. The pavilion in Canada was more appropriate, I think, for stage 2 spiritual seekers and people that may be stagnant in their own recovery, if recovery was involved at all. But it was a little premature for people just starting in stage 1 recovery. In North Carolina, we moved more into the stage 1 recovery, helping people find their path to get hope, healing, and lasting recovery. One part of the pavilion was the Desjardins model, which was a wonderful model, but things really moved in another direction when Anne Vance came in. Anne Vance was hired as CEO, and it took on a whole new energy. And Anne brought in Steve Millett from Hanley Hazleton, which brought more of the clinical expertise, and they added a multidisciplinary treatment team along with the 6-week program, extended care, professionals program, the development of spiritual care and the spiritual director role, the expansion of alumni services, a true continuum of care. Anne and Steve knew how important the spiritual aspect of the pavilion was. It was about creating a sanctuary where healing could keep growing, a place where science and spirituality could walk together, a place where people could reclaim purpose. And through every season, every iteration, and every leader, the mission remains the same: to help people heal, to help families heal, and to remind every person who arrives here that growth is still possible. At Pavillon, the value of the lessons becomes greater than the discomfort of the pain.